What's up, everyone? My name is Candace Smith, and this is Duval Connect. I'm here with the ladies of Duval Connect for a little sip and spill, right? Ain't that what it said? That's what we said it was, right?
Yes.
All right. We all like that name. That name was from Ceterija, y'all. We was having our little one-on-one, and we was talking, and she was like, "Oh, we should have a little sip and spill." So
some tea, spill some tea,
Yes. So I was like, okay, that's what's up. So if y'all want to go ahead and introduce yourselves, we could start with Ceterija, Nadia, Tiffney, Chelsey, and then if T come back in.
Girl, I'm trying to set it together. Go ahead.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Ceterija. I write on the column for Lock, Loaded, and Mindful. Native to Jacksonville, and I'll pass it on to the next person.
Hey y'all. I'm dubbing. Hold up. Hey y'all, I'm Nadia, and I'm still dubbing, but we good. I write for the column Nadia Nice, and I'm just doing my thing. Let's do this, ladies.
That's what's up.
Hey everybody, I'm Tiffney. My column is called Amplified Voices, and so I just talk to give voices to those who may not have a voice. So I'm excited. Let's get with it.
Hey family, my name is Chelsey, and I'm the writer of the blog Flavor in Your Ear. And I'm just here to give out information from the community, goods and the goods and the bads, and I'm ready to do this.
All right. So that's what's up. Ceterija, you went first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, girl, y'all. I had a little bit already.
That's that EJ.
Just forgive me. I'm not even on the clock right now. This ain't finna be no type of professional nothing. This is uncut. This is raw. This is the first ladies of Duval Connect just about to spill some tea, some E&J, whatever everybody else got. I don't know what y'all got.
Oh, you know me. I love me a good sweet red. So, yeah.
I don't know what this is, but it had watermelon on it, so that's what I'm drinking.
Whatever it is, it's good.
I'm not home yet, but when I get home, I got a little adult Capri Sun that I bought yesterday. So,
all right,
which color you got? What color?
Can we see?
Okay, it's clear. It's clear liquid. We can't hear.
It's Stella. It's wine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I gotta stay focused.
Okay, so we're here to discuss some things. We've been talking about some stuff in the group. And so we just thought we would bring it over here because there's things that happen. And for whatever reason, it does get like our attention or trigger us to talk about it. So one thing that's been going around social media is a video of a restaurant, and there were some women up dancing, twerking, standing on the chairs, bamming on the glass window. I mean, getting it all the way in. And then you hear a man speaking, and you know that it's the manager. And he's basically scolding them and telling them, don't twerk in this establishment. This is not what I made this establishment for. I made it for a place for Black people to come and, enjoy themselves. And basically he felt like the twerking of it all was like downgrading his establishment. And so he was scolding them, and somebody happened to be recording it. And so now it's going viral. I cannot scroll a minute without seeing somebody talking about it, posting about it. So we just gonna bring our thoughts out to the group. So whoever want to go in, go on and go in.
Okay, so I first saw the video on Instagram, in one of the group chats that me and my friends got. So my first idea of it when I first saw it came from a place of self-hate almost. And I say that because twerking is a part of our culture, not in just the sense of it twerking, but also from our ancestors. That's the way that we spiritually dance, you know, is the way that we move our bodies. And then on top of that, if you have music that's already playing in your establishment and you are encouraging people to dance, you know, so I can understand if it was like in a very, like in a Forks restaurant kind of vibe, like you talking about, you know, it's classy, you know, it's tablecloths, there's violins playing in the background. Like, I understand that. But if you have music that's encouraging dancing and you are a regular establishment, a Black establishment at that, I don't see where the issue was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say that. I've seen a lot of people bring that up, saying, you know, well, you got the music going in the background that make people want to dance. How you expect them not to dance? You know, I've seen a lot of people, even myself, feeling like, you know, that is a part of us, and that's how we feel. Like, literally, it don't have to be more than a little simple beat, and I'm just
you know, you can't help yourself, you know,
before you know it and stuff. So I definitely understand that. Anybody else want to share?
I mean, I understand both sides in the sense of I'm a person, when I'm with my girls, I like to have fun. I like to cut loose because this is like the one time out of the week that I just get to let my hair down and just be free. But at the same time, my mama is always the one that was like, act like you know how to be somewhere. And you know, it's just one of those situations where if I'm in the type of establishment that they do play that type of music, and I'm supposed to act accordingly, then I would then act accordingly. Now, if it's encouraged in that environment, then yes, I would do it. But if it's a designated area, he should have said, ladies, could you go in that designated area, not in the booths or wherever they were doing it at. Well, I feel like the delivery could have been different. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that was the end of it. I was saying, I feel like the delivery of it could have been different. Just watching that video itself, if he would have been like, excuse me, could you not dance on the tabletops or on the glass? We have a designated area by the DJ. You know, if you could go and dance over there versus, you know, you da 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 da, and you know, just going off like he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I also seen so many people saying that. There was a lot of people that sided with the restaurant owner and that felt he was right and he had every right to speak to them the way he did. He had every right to do that, being that it's his establishment and it's his vision, it's what he's worked hard for. And on top of that, I watched a lot of people talk about it in a lot of different clips. There were other angles, and he did talk to them first and tell them, don't do that here. And then they got routed again. So, you know, I had my original thoughts. And then when I learned more information, I was like, you know what? If somebody tell you not to do something, that's like you coming in somewhere with me. You know, if I say here at this place, we don't do that, I expect you to just respect me off of rip. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't, I can't see myself. Just being a little honest, like, you know, I see myself like, okay, so since you didn't want to respond to what I said nicely, you know, then maybe I would get a little bit more harsh, I think. Oh, did anybody else have anything?
I do. Here's the thing. I get all of that. I understand all of that. But here's the thing. If it's gonna be your establishment, let it be your establishment. Put them out. But what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna talk to me like I'm 2 years old. I'm a grown ass woman. I paid for this food. I came up in here and I want to have a good time. Granted, no, they should not have been standing on that man's stuff. No, they should not have been banging on that man's glass. But the way your tone, his tone was like a second grade teacher who had no classroom management and wanted to be frustrated with the children because he don't have no management. But my thing is, you could have got the check and said, okay, I'm going to ask you all to leave because I've already addressed it before. You coming out there and spraying spit on me in COVID time is just as bad as the twerk L that don't nobody want over their food. Don't talk to me like that. That's not what we're going to do, because when I snap back because I'm on that say y'all was pouring heavy, you're not going to like my response. Furthermore, you ain't do it to them damn men that was standing up on your damn chairs because you knew they was going to beat your ass.
Okay, I didn't never get a chance to bring that up. That was a new revelation. That was, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the clips of the videos before we start talking so everybody can see the clips and stuff. But that was a new revelation to me when I saw that and saw them men up on that table getting down, having a good old funky time.
Yes.
Right.
See, that's trash. I didn't know about that. I didn't know about that.
So if you're gonna have a standard, set the standard to be fair for everyone. And hey, you absolutely right. That's that man establishment. He don't have to have us in the twerking. He don't have to have people in the twerking. If that's not what he want, that's not what he want. And I absolutely agree with that. But at the same time, don't bring it. If you got a problem, your angle was the fact that you had a problem with twerking, not the fact that they were standing on your tables, not the fact that they was hitting on your glass. You had a problem with twerking. So my attitude came from that, not because he wanted them to stop doing that in his establishment, but because he wanted them to stop twerking. Mm-hmm. That was my problem.
Yeah, I did feel like he did have something underlining that really made him focus and narrow in on that, and maybe it triggered him in the wrong way because he does not care for that style of dancing, or don't care to see Black women behaving in that way. So if you already have those feelings, to have somebody do this makes it even 10 times worse. And then when I saw him on TMZ, things had kind of started dying down and you didn't hear people talk about it as much. And I think like 2 days later, I ended up being at the laundromat. And I'm like, this man is all the way on TMZ with his backdrop, boo, and everything. And the main focus stayed on the twerking aspect. And even the host of TMZ was kind of like, really challenging him on it. And I didn't feel like he stepped up to it. You guys can share your opinion if you got a chance to watch it. But in my opinion, it revealed that his main focus was on twerking. And he gave an example, like, what if there were Caucasian women? They were up, flinging their hair and doing their dance and whatever, would you have spoken to them in that manner? And that was like, to me, like, okay, yeah, I don't know if he would have did it in that way. Even if they kept doing it and kept being disrespectful, I don't think he would have made it a cultural thing and made it where now all Black women are represented within this group of women.
Here's my thing. It really irks my nerves that it seems like everything about a Black woman is we're constantly fighting. So whether it's from the quote unquote attitudes that they say we have to how we enjoy ourselves through twerking. Mm-hmm. So like you just said, we are not the only people that twerk. So of course it's in our bloodlines to do this thing, because going back, this was a part of our ancestry. This is a part of our ancestry, literally. But you have all of these other culture of women who have made all kind of TikToks and made all kind of careers out of twerking. But when a Black woman does it in a public environment, it automatically is, just because she's twerking, we're automatically condemned. Like, that really irks my nerves. And as far as the guy that, the owner of the restaurant, me personally, I understand him talking to the young ladies before they came into the establishment. Got it. But my thing is, if you have a restaurant, and let's take me for example. I want to own my own restaurant one day. So if I have drinks, like I'm talking about bar drinks, alcohol drinks, and I have a DJ, I automatically can assume that the people that's gonna come in, white, Black, yellow, blue, they get a little drink in their system. What they're gonna do? They're going to dance. They're going to enjoy themselves, because that is the kind of environment that you have provided the people that are enjoying your restaurant. So what do you expect these people to do? If they're coming to your establishment, they're buying drinks, they're sitting at your table and they're enjoying themselves. Now, granted, of course, it should not have stood on that man's stuff or on his glass, but you literally have provided your entire restaurant to encourage the turn up. So, sir, what do you expect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people made that point. They definitely made it. And the fact that he's capitalizing off of the culture that promotes twerking. You got the music blasting, you got the whole atmosphere, but then
Exactly.
the behavior of it. And it's like, I understand you may want this one little thing, you got this idea of what you want, but in reality, that music was made to make that happen. So, I don't know, one other thing I thought about, I really thought about was, it's funny to me how as Black women, we're like the only ones condemned for the way we dance. And in my opinion, the thought behind twerking has not even come from Black women. The degradeness of it, it's about your ass flapping in my face, it's about me getting pleasure, that never came from us. That was put on it, that was said in music, it was men admiring that and getting their own pleasure from it. It was, in my opinion, like taken away, because when I'm excited
right.
Right, but that's just a natural movement. Like that's one of those things. Like when you find something funny, you laugh. Something tickle your nose, you sneeze. That it's a natural movement for us. And I do hate the fact that Black women are so demonized and fetishized so much.
Ooh,
like I can't go to I can't walk in any place without somebody saying something to me about my body, and I just got on sweats and a hoodie. Mm-hmm. I have nothing on that's attracting you, but it's automatic attention on me because I'm the only Black girl in the room.
Right. Too, another thing is, for me, I just feel like it is more so men that put that on us, because when you look at other cultures, like the other day, I was kind of joking about it, but I was like, when you go to Hawaii, they are all over the place dancing. Like, they greet you there. Yeah. They're at every establishment, even serious establishments. It's ceremonial for them. It's honored. It's adored. It's a staple of who they are. And they get that honor put on them to do that. They don't get shame put on them. They don't get, you're a bad person for doing that. And right. I honestly was just laughing about it. Like, after I was serious at first, but I was laughing because I'm like, them women is getting paid, and they not condemned to just the strip club and the clubs. They are literally everywhere. And I was just like, if I could, Lord God, I would be in y'all banks and y'all establishment. Right there. Y'all greeting y'all at the door. I'm just saying, like, we made everything, like I think Chelsey was saying, like, everything we do is so demonized. It's so like, oh, how dare you? How could you? When it doesn't have to always be that way. We can lighten up on ourselves. We're the hardest ones on ourselves as Black. Like, I know other races just look at us going back and forth about things that don't even have to be a big issue, but it's something to just once again separate us. And it's honored and glorified. Who was telling me about a scholarship?
That was me. The Juicy J scholarship.
Yeah. So what about it?
So basically, he did a Bands to Make a Dance scholarship or whatever. A lot of girls submitted in twerking videos and you know, telling their story and everything. The one person that actually read it and said that it did not have to be a twerking video that you had to submit. She actually did I believe she did an actual essay or a video essay, and she got the scholarship.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what's
Yeah.
up.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like that to me, we always speak about inclusion and stuff like that, but we are the first ones to divide ourselves from ourselves with anything that we can. And that to me was very inclusive for him to say, okay, you know what, I could demonize these women. He know he done made plenty money off of them because everybody coming to the videos to watch him. I know I don't. I'm not there to just see you. You know what I'm saying? The women and the way they dance make it, you know, hyped and fun to watch. It's not all about them. And they recognize that. That's why they constantly have women around them. They're always talking about them in their raps and in their songs. It's all about us. And, you know, when I look back at the music over the time of my life growing up, it was not flattering to us, you know. It was not flattering.
No.
I mean, honestly, I think to the older people, like the older generation, I don't think it's flattering to us either. I think we feel more like property. It's the younger kids that get hyped off of. Well, I'm not gonna say that, but for the most of us,
right? Yeah.
for the most of us,
honest. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I do get turned. I get turned up and I get hyped off of stuff. But as I'm growing up, you know what I'm saying, and getting older, I just like, I can't, you know what I mean? I know too much now, and I've been through too much to turn a blind ear even to things. So it doesn't allow me the same freedom that I had when I was younger. And I was not concerned about the words. I was concerned about the beat and, you know, doing what naturally comes when I hear a beat. But I now have grown to understand that those words have power, and it's playing in your ear and it's getting down in you, and it matters. And so that has prevented me from enjoying it the way I used to go in, like just being honest.
Oh no, because I'm gonna turn Meg on real quick because I'm a hot girl fan. And I'm gonna turn Meg on real quick because I know the difference. I understand there's a difference between me really doing everything Meg tell me to do and me really living my life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm out here twerking because I'm out here having a good time with my friends. I'm just, you know, just chilling, just vibing. So the music that's playing, I'm getting hyped off of because that's what's playing. You know, I probably got my little drink and my two-step going on. I'm just having fun. I'm not gonna go clock into work the next day to work with my youth and be talking about, girl, yes, B, I went to the club with my friends last night. Yeah, what? Time and place for everything, which is what the conversation was essentially. It's a time and place for everything, but approaches everything also. So even like in those spaces, like I'll teach my kids, like you can have fun, you can listen to the songs that you listen to, but do you really know who that artist is? Do you know what they do? Do you know what they're actually doing on the outside of that song? Do you know that they beat their girlfriend? They think that's okay, and y'all keep thinking that, because that's not reality. So if I can break it down to you and you understand, like, yeah, there's two different things now, you know, Miss Punches, you know, whatever. Okay, cool. But when you take it for like it's golden, that's where your issue comes in. Because and even sometimes when you playing, you still have to be able to say, okay, I need to turn this off because I'm real life starting to act like I ain't got no sense. You know.
The vibe start to match up.
You know, you be like, hold up, friend. We can't.
It's become an everyday thing, and that's a problem.
And I'm tired. By the end of the song, to be honest. So be doing this every day is the problem.
You get a good 1 minute and 30 seconds out of me.
You might get the 30 seconds and minus the minute.
Seriously, these knees can't handle it. I don't have them Meg knees.
And
Dad be hyping me up. She be hyping me up for foolishness.
between Meg and the lookers, yeah. You
Hype for
think you
nothing.
Meg.
Drive,
You
everybody
think
want to
you
drive the
Meg.
boat,
No.
but can't see.
I must be old because I don't twerk.
Oh.
I don't twerk.
Twerk by myself. I don't
even twerk by myself. That's not something that was put on the face front when I was growing up.
Oh,
We didn't, that wasn't a terminology.
You know what? Yeah, because you're from the West Coast. That matters.
That's true.
Well, I was born in the South. I have Alabama Southern roots, but you know what I'm saying? I've been living in Cali because I'm an Army brat. My dad moved out here when my sister and I were much younger. So I didn't grow up with seeing twerking on a regular. You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't a dance that, you know, I would do in public. As a matter of fact, we didn't have all this public access to see all this stuff on how people were dancing, you know, basically. So it was just like, if you got the latest dance, which was the freak, then somebody went to a party or to a club and saw that and brought that back to the backyard party and showed everybody how to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think I have a little bit different concept on the topic at hand. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Miss Tiffany said, it's a time and place for everything. Of course, when I go to clubs and I go to bars and stuff and I hear music, I get to dancing, but it's not necessarily a twerk. Because in my head, this is just me thinking about it, twerking in public is a advertisement for the people around you. That's just how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the reason why I look at it like that is because I've always been extremely shapely growing up. I've always had ass, like a bunch of it, like more than my friends, like type shit. So I've always had attention pointing to that particular area on my body ever since I was a young girl. So therefore, it was never in me to show it because it's already been seen, to the point of embarrassment sometimes or disrespect. So I think that might be a reason why I don't twerk today, like, because I've possibly been humiliated, you know what I'm saying, just walking down the street because some nigga got ignorant in his mouth. I had them niggas up in their chest in the club because how they felt like they was gonna do in the club when I walked past them. That level of disrespect, you know what I'm saying? So I just have a completely different look when it comes to twerking, I guess, you know, or
I can understand that.
I've always had somebody pointing at me. The boys in elementary used to make up little games so they can figure out how they was gonna touch my butt on the slide. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I covered up with a big green jacket 365 days a year so it wouldn't be so much attention on it. So so it's like by the time I graduated from high school, ass wasn't popular like that. It wasn't like, oh, you know, it was something that needed to be seen. I was like kind of the oddball out, you know? So now that it's become popular, I just see it completely different, because there's been women, many queens that passed through for years that had ass built like statues, wonderful, just goddesses. Sarah Barterman is one of them. But she was the first one that was, you know, she was the first one looked on as exotic. So they look at Black women as being exotic. You know, they don't look at Asian women as being exotic. They don't look at white women as being exotic. We were the first ones that was deemed exotic. So that's why they pay so much attention to us whenever we do something, because to them it's something that they've never seen before. It's exotic. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it a little bit just differently, you know. Of course, his tone was wrong, because me personally, being the crown wearer that I am, I would have gotten his throat on camera. You know, because that's not what you about to do. I'm about to holler at you right here on camera because you got me effed up in like left and right ways, because that's not how you about to talk to me. As a matter of fact, I'm about to turn over a couple of tables at your restaurant on this exit. Because that's how, that's how effed up you got me, because you wrong. But if this is your establishment, I understand that as well. You know what I'm saying? But if these are rules, then rules need to be set across the board. Maybe when we're standing in line at the door, you have your little rules on the door or on your website. Even when you hear this music, it's okay to dance in your seat or gyrate in your seat or go to the left to the dancing, you know, area. But what you're not going to do is stand up on my tables. But then again, when I come ask you, like you said before, if I have to ask you 2-3 times, then what do you think that third time is going to be like? I think that both played because I study behavior, I think both played it kind of fed off of each other. I am liquored up. This is my behavior at this time. He said something, so now I'm triggering his behavior at this time because he didn't already spoke, and he felt like he was being disrespected in a place where he didn't gave his money up. So now I got to make myself be heard. I got to put my masculinity on the line to say X, Y, and Z. You know, it don't make it right, but it was like, if they would have listened initially, it wouldn't have got thus far. You know, everyone have to own up to the part that they played, the role that they played in it ending the way that it did, him going viral. But at this point now, he's about to make more money than he ever have. And that could have been his initial stance in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Do something so I can become this viral sensation, because everybody's trying to make some money nowadays.
But see, that's my problem. Why you got to make money off of yelling at Black women? We got like 5, and I know what you're saying, Miss Nadia, but I'm just saying, like, in my mind, it always goes there. It's like,
well, you know,
why we got to do that?
We never really understand his bottom role with women. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People's bottom line on how they feel when they're triggered by certain things and people, that comes out. Do he even love Black women? Do he love himself? Mm-hmm. Is he dating a white woman? Is he dating an Asian woman? You know what I'm saying? How does he truly feel about seeing his queens? You know what I'm saying? If he call us that, is he tired of seeing asses twerking from every woman from Beyonce on up? Is he tired of that? What is he looking for? You know what I'm saying? So whatever it was, it triggered whatever's going on in him. You know, sorry, not to bring up scripture, but scripture does say what a man feels in his heart. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how he feels in his heart truly about Black women, you know, and a lot of Black men and Black women can claim to the end that they love themselves, but it's certain little things that they say that'll let you know. Like I had a friend one time, she said, I won't be having a little Black ass babies. And I'm like, ain't you Black? Ain't you Black? Ain't both your parents Black? Ain't your sister Black? Yeah. Ain't your nephew's Black? And I'm trying to get an understanding. And she wound up marrying a white man, so her children wouldn't be that dark. And then when you hear stuff like that, then you say, okay, well, I see there's a little dissatisfaction with self. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at him, it might be a little dissatisfaction with self. And at that time, in that moment, that's how it was expressed. You know, that's how it came out, his disgust with women. It could have been discussed with plus size women twerking. You know, you just never know what his real issue is for him to address it as such.
Yeah, that's true. Know? I never think about that. Like, the attractiveness of the woman matters. You know, to men, the attractiveness of the woman matters. So maybe he didn't find it attractive. If it may have been another type of body type of woman, he may have responded.
That's what I'm saying. Differently. Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
That don't make it right.
No. It doesn't make it right. No.
None of it is right.
No, it doesn't make it right at all. But it's just like the psychology behind how people think. You know what I'm saying? And the reason for why they act the way they do. And that's what I study all the time. Why people do what they do. What triggered them to do what they do? That's the whole mechanism behind studying behavior. What made this person do what they do? So I'm just like, okay, well, what's wrong with him? What is his real issue? What's his real issue? Let's get down. Let's separate the bull from the shit, and let's just get down to the stank. Okay. What's wrong with you?
I like that one.
But again, my whole thing is like, again, even with all of that, the proof is in the pudding. Again, you still ain't have that same energy with those men.
Now, who's to say he don't like men?
That's what I was gonna say. He might have.
But that's what I'm saying. But I'm like, I don't know.
That's my boo. That's my boo. And you know when them brothers
have your establishment geared towards the people that you like, the people that you want to attract. Don't have somebody in there just for the dollar of it. If you're gonna have this establishment,
right? My thought on that is and this is just my opinion, I feel like he thinks that he can manipulate women, and that's therefore he thought that automatically by him saying something to us, we was gonna automatically be like, "Well, sorry, no, sir." And he was absolutely afraid of the men because he knew that the men was gonna jump down his throat if he thought about trying them like that.
That's true.
And he was scared.
Yeah.
Well, then he's not a man then, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we gonna have to call that what it is. He might not be.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Because I know the you know, the word says try the spirit by the spirit. To me, that's man.
You hear me?
That's wrong man. That's queen. That's king. But if you have a problem addressing, if you man and you have a problem addressing another man, then maybe your title should be boy.
Boy,
because that's not man. That's boy. Because you're still kind of cowarding behind it. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it, man. You boy.
Right. I don't know. I guess. And listen, yes, his establishment, he can have whatever rule he wants. Yes. Would I have liked somebody coming into my establishment, standing on my table, beating on my glass? Hell no. I sure would have not. Would I have said the first time, hey ladies, can y'all please not do that? Would I have might have come back the second time, understanding that my DJ playing all twerk music and that my bartender is pouring heavy shots to do say, hey ladies, can you please get down? By the third time, I'm not going to say anything. Me personally, as a business owner, I'm gonna go to that register, put that, hey, check them out. Yeah, thank you. Can y'all handle that bill? Y'all have to leave, and you have about 15 minutes before I call the police before you leave, because I've
one thing he never said in any of his interviews or anything that he was a businessman. This might be a new adventure. There's things that you have to learn to be successful. You know what I'm saying? This is a new adventure.
So here, to give context, he actually was a manager at another restaurant in Dallas, and he came over. Matter of fact, he stole their menu and brought it to this restaurant. Okay, so like he had like some background. He had
background. He don't know how to own. He don't know how to own. He don't know how to own.
But I know it's been about 2 years. My friend would go all the time, and he told me because that's what he was thinking. Like, no, he literally was like the manager here, and it was he said he prefaced this by saying he said they used to play jazz and R&B. There was never any twerking. They used to keep it real cool, real kosher. You came to your business, you started playing Meg Stallion twerking music, and the people got the juice and they bought that show started to bop. And then that's what I'm saying. Bop. Exactly. And then all of a sudden everybody bopping. We bopping now. But but to his point, it was set the standard that you're gonna have. If you don't, and I understand, he said, but here's my problem with him. You said you did it for the culture. Define culture.
Who's culture?
That was my issue. Define culture, because don't throw culture. Just say what your problem is, and that's twerking.
Yeah.
Don't say you got a problem. I did it for the black people, for the culture. Because black people, we like to dance, jig, and get wet. You know,
that's what I'm saying. It don't matter. We'll be in Auntie backyard and kitchen. It don't matter. We'll be just as happy.
Right.
Okay. All right. So y'all ready to get on to the next topic of what?
Oh, child, y'all can have it.
Yeah, because we'll go on.
No, don't be doing that. No, you got to stay in for all the conversation.
Right, yo. Because he's out of control. He was way out of control. I saw another video, another clip of him. I said, boy, this man,
yes. I've seen like 3 different clips of him since y'all posted in the group. I've seen all on Instagram.
Wow.
And I seen the one that I seen last night on Instagram. This one where he was actually snapping on the black man.
Right.
Lord, y'all.
He don't discriminate against the people.
No, he don't. He asked the man if he had a big penis, y'all.
Oh, y'all talk about it.
Oh. Yes. He said, do you got I'm just birth you. But then the man was like, I mean, I ain't got, he was like, I got a blood out. He was like, that's when I asked you. I didn't ask you to ask you.
I'm talking about
if you're giving dating advice.
Then he said, so
why does this need to be a factor?
He said, you make less than $1,000 a year. You're 20 years old and you're fat. And you mean to tell me that you also don't have a big dick? They ain't getting nothing. Like he went in on her. Like, I don't know why niggas keep calling him, because he rude as fuck.
That's why they calling him. You know, some people like abuse.
Yes, he's using
I guess so.
To just really be mean.
I can't. I cannot. I can't.
I mean, who made him judge and jury?
Alien thing off of American Dad. I can't. I don't want to take advice from me, sir.
But see, here's my thing. It's one thing keeping it a buck with somebody. Like I said this morning, it's one thing to keep it a buck with somebody and just be like, listen, from what you telling me, this is my opinion. This is my perspective on what you just told me. That's one thing. But to just be blatantly rude to somebody, just because somebody has a certain kind of thing that they're looking for. Like that young lady that was in the original video, you told her that she was gonna die alone because she's saying that she want a man with money because she has a successful business and she wants a man that can match what she brings to the table.
Average.
And you told this girl that she was average and was gonna die alone.
First of all, here's the thing. You sat there, told all these people they was average, and you was nasty. My problem is I read everybody's comments. People was in the comments, yeah, he kind of right though, like don't ask questions, you da 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 da. But if I, as a Black woman, told somebody the truth in a nice way, I'm gonna be called a what? A bitch. I'm gonna be called everything in the book. This nigga got on there and was straight up disrespectful, and y'all went and ran with him, and even women was in there saying, "Oh, he's right." Da da da. But hold up, friend, because if he talked to you like that, you wouldn't have felt like he was right. She not even listening. I wouldn't listen to you either talking to me like that. Matter of fact, I would have been right.
But see, that's my thing. I can't give him too much when I'm listening, hearing him going off, and then 5 minutes in, well, what's your advice? After you done went in on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, as women, we can't continue to put ourselves in positions where everybody gonna speak into our life, especially men.
Agreed.
Because it's not too many men outside maybe your father or somebody that really knows you that can speak on that level to you. So it's just no way I would even put myself in that position to want to hear some advice like that, and then for you to talk, you know what I'm saying? Talk to me like that, you know, so I don't know.
How about this? This young lady, she said she was a fan, so she listened to him before, right? She knows how he come off, right? She probably felt that he was going to give her a different kind of advice because of the hair, the makeup, the lashes, and the 6-figure income. And she did say, well, my body don't look average.
She did.
So what exactly is she playing off of in herself to get this man? She's playing off her money, her 6 figures. She's playing off of the aesthetics that she take care of every single day. And she playing off the fact that her body is banging. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, as a Black woman, to me, she's trying to look like a white woman. You understand what I'm saying? There was nothing natural about her saying her whole speech. She wanted him to give her some advice off of her aesthetics and the money that she made. She didn't say anything about, I'm rooted, I'm grounded, I'm dependable. You know what I'm saying? I got X, Y, and Z. She allowed him to run with the baby mama issue, you know what I'm saying, and say that you're a woman with a child, like that's a problem.
Oh, he was in on. Thank you for bringing that.
That's not a problem.
I had to stop listening to it because that made me truly upset.
That's not a problem.
It's not.
That's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? But you want to make it seem like it's a problem. Black man. You know what I'm saying? I remember I said I read something one day that said Black men need to really start taking up for Black women more, but they weren't never trained to do so.
Exactly.
They weren't never trained to really look at us as who we really are, which are goddesses, queens, princesses. That's who we are. They weren't never trained to look at us like that. So immediately when he looked at her, he was like, fake lashes, she got makeup. Do you look like that when you wake up in the morning?
He went in.
Nigga, you're not about to ask me that. Do you look like that when you wake up in the morning? Do your balls hang? What's up? Since you want to come at me like that, do they sag a little bit? Do your ass stink? Are you wiping right? I got questions too, but it's like she allowed herself to be open. And like you said, we can't allow everybody to pour in. She allowed herself being a fan, or maybe she just wanted to be on the show to be seen. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
he broke it all the way down to a blunt, like a roach, baby. Like what?
And it didn't look like she even mind. Did it look like she mind to you all?
It didn't.
She did,
which also bothered me.
She was triggered though. That's why she got on that phone.
I'm about to say, she saw her do this.
Yeah, she started to try to play it off.
She did that real quick.
Yeah,
but see,
to try to make herself seem unbothered.
And here's the thing: in those spaces, women have to learn how to start taking up for themselves too, because there would have been less than 15 seconds into the way he talked to me. Hold the fuck up now. I understand how you talk, and I guess that too, Miss Nadia, like she knew what his show was and how he talked to his people. Exactly. But I think that, that's also because don't nobody go on the show and clear them. People go, and here's the thing: people go on Wendy Williams' show all day and clear her. I mean, they'll go on Wendy Williams' show and clear her all day.
Yeah, and then Wendy's okay with that. And Wendy's bold enough to take her shit and drink it. Yes. You know what I'm saying? And dish it out. And the thing of it is Wendy don't mind being called a bitch. I don't mind either. To tell you the truth, if you calling me a bitch because I'm serving you the right type of diet, then all right, then I wear that well. I wear that right now. Hello, you know, because I'll be that all day. I remember Missy came out with that song. I was like, that's my shit all day.
Listen, when Janae say triggered.
Exactly. Like, you know, so it's like you have to be bold enough to speak up. But she wanted that though.
Yeah. She might have did.
I'm like you said, Candace, people that like abuse.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Who's going to sit there and allow somebody to talk shit like that?
You know, honestly, it made me think of sometimes how people talk in the church to you. You know, I've heard pastors address things and first ladies address things, and they will rip into you. They will
shots fired.
You know what I'm saying? And don't question them. Don't say nothing, because what I'm saying is the truth. So how I'm saying it don't matter.
Oh no, because my stature says how I said.
Right. That's what I was feeling. That's what it was making me feel like. You know, I don't like that harshness, because we're always harsh to each other. And it started personally with me, you know, looking at how I address my sons. You know, like, it's not cool to keep this harsh tone all the time with each other, you know, and I had experienced it so much and was given it so much it didn't become a mirror to me until it was my children. And I'm like, this got to be the place that they receive that they receive softness, that they get critiqued in a way that it don't kill their confidence and kill their self-esteem. And then it went outward to, how do I talk to my sister? Do I express enough love to my family, my niece, when I'm sharing things, when I'm correcting them? How am I giving it to them? My friends, my colleagues, when I have to address issues, how am I talking? Do I have to disrespect you?
Because ultimately, how do you talk to yourself?
Yeah.
And how do you address yourself when you're trying to correct yourself?
Yeah, that makes it unacceptable when other people come at you wrong, because that's why a lot of people didn't feel that, because I think, you know, you have enough to say, I'm worth you talking to me better with more respect. I don't care, because it was a time in my life where I did accept a lot of things the way people said it to me, because I was just used to receiving it that way. But you're right, as I began to care more about me, I had to address that. Like, first of all, you just not gonna talk to me like that. You're not. Like, if I'm gonna give you respect, I know we got to talk about something difficult, but we gonna do it with respect. Period.
So, and that's you're gonna do it with respect. It's not so much of what you say, but it is how you say it. It is always about how you say it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like people just letting people slide with silly shit. Like, I feel like people are allowing people to come into their space, and everybody want to be like, positive vibes and energy. Check your energy. Be one with yourself. Kumbaya, say. But what the ultimate thing is, no, y'all just letting people slide on slimy shit. You're not gonna come at me 5 ways talking about I'm keeping it a buck. No, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a $1.50 then. Because what you're not gonna do is you're not gonna come at me and be, oh, well, you this and you gonna die alone and you trash because you got a child and all this, that, and third. She was willing to accept it. And I think and you know what? That might have been what triggered me, was the fact that she sat there and allowed him to talk to her that way. A man, nobody gonna come in my face, whether I ask you a question or not, and talk to me that way. You can give me the wrong answer, but you better make sure that you come at me with some respect. But that's how I carry myself.
Yeah.
She might have not carried herself where you can like I said, she might have liked the abuse. I don't like your tone, nigga.
Well, you
hey, I'm here to listen. Pipe down.
I do have a question, because like in this year, everybody try to keep it real, try to keep it 100 and everything, and being real and being 100 the lines can get blurred with that. What do y'all consider y'all differences between being real and being disrespectful? Because you can cut off some real people because you take what they're giving you as disrespect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
I think it depends all on intent. So if what I'm saying, if the intent behind what I'm saying is to hurt you or to make you feel some kind of way, and I feel that, you know, as the person receiving the information, I'm making sure that you receive that you feel that is when it becomes disrespectful. If you know what I'm saying is meant to make you feel some kind of way, it's to make you feel disrespected. But if I'm on some, you know, I'm telling you information to provide you with constructive criticism, or I'm saying this out of love and, you know, things of that nature, that is when it's keeping it real. You know, I always like to say when I'm having to keep it real with somebody, to do a sandwich. I think we learned that in the city of Chelsey.
Being the educator.
Yes, you do a sandwich. You say what is good about the situation. Listen, I see that you know, blase, blase, blah, and I applaud you on that. But here are some areas that I think you need to work on.
Right.
You know, here are some deltas I need you to work on. Okay. So like in that sense, you know, that is when it's keeping in the book. It's all about the intent.
Because he didn't even lead with anything that was positive.
Right.
Like not once did I hear him say a lot of stuff he said, like you're a mother. That was positive to me. You take care of your child by yourself. While being a single mother, you made 6 figures. You did blah, blah, blah. You said nothing of the sort. You was just nasty across the board. And people got to stop associating real and honesty and keeping it a book with nastiness and plain rudeness.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just always like to look at it as it being a more excellent way. You know, that's how I tend to communicate with people. You know, it's a more excellent way from how Nadia will put it than how the child of God would put it. 2 completely different things, 2 completely understandings. You know, Nadia's off the chain for real. It's not nice, but if I'm being led by the Holy Spirit, then I know exactly what I'm saying is going to be received, because I've been prayed for it being receptive. So I know it's going to be received well. Like even when I have to have difficult topics with my husband, who's 9 years my senior, but he acts so much younger than me. It's like, okay, Lord, I need to know how to say this, because my intent, even though the marriage is, my intent is not to hurt his feelings, even though that might be his intent towards me. So I have to communicate things to him as if though I'm talking sometimes to a young baby, so that it can be easier to digest. Because my intent is not to ever hurt someone, even when someone pisses me off. Talking to my sister, it's like, okay, well, let me figure out a more excellent way to say that to Kia, because I can't say it like that because her triggers, and I don't want her to trigger, because then she gonna trigger, I'm a trigger, and we're gonna be popping like popcorn up in this piece, and it's about to get serious. So I just always think it's a more excellent way.
But that's a more mature way to think of it. Like, because a lot of people don't. Like, my thing is you lead with love. Like, why we just can't lead with love? Damn, 2020 ain't teach us that shit. Like, come on, life is too short. Things are going on, and y'all still out here being nasty. People lost their lives this year. People lost their families this year. People did not make it, whether it was because of COVID, whether it's because of depression. They did not. And you mean to tell me y'all still out here letting niggas talk to y'all sideways? Y'all still out here being rude to one another? Come on. Now, what happened in the first 3 months of the year? Oh, we love each other. We're stronger together. And then by the end of 2020, everything unraveling. You ain't learned nothing.
Now, when I initially saw this young lady, and when I saw her, I immediately looked at, I saw somebody else. I'm not going to lie. I saw someone who could have had a life that was extremely hard when they was younger. you know what I'm saying? And to the point where it could have been even, I'm out here putting myself on the street every single night to make sure things are okay. Now that's what I saw when I saw her. You know what I'm saying? So her mentality, her upbringing says a whole lot too of why she sat there and accepted it. You know what I'm saying? To me, I looked at it as a pimp's type of mentality, because when you're dealing with a pimp, he gonna sit up here and tell you everything about yourself, and you gonna say, okay, because that's the mind state you have. It's weak.
Right.
It's not strong. She was still willing to sit up there and listen to
Yeah.
somebody completely belittle her, for her to say, okay.
Yeah. What advice you got for me though?
Right. Even though I'm not giving you my money, I'm still weak-minded. You know what I'm saying? So I'm willing to sit up here and allow you to frame a thought on me, to plant a seed.
You hear me?
You plant that seed, nigga, you better get that seed, because I ain't about to take that. You trying to plant a seed. So she's gonna walk around all day thinking about, oh, I'm not pretty enough.
Yes.
I'm average.
I'm a mother.
Our best days,
my child is my issue. Girl.
If you allow that, that was my whole thing, because I was triggered and I was upset by his words, but I've learned to accept a responsibility, because a lot of stuff we be responsible for. You know what I'm saying? And so to just see her sit there and allow that to happen, or sit there and let somebody say that,
right.
You know, it took me back to a place in my life where I allowed certain things like that to happen. And I thought about why. And it was because of where I was in my life. The people that I allowed to do that was directly affected, or they directly represented some things. So it's always something we can do to look within ourselves to find out, like, why am I allowing this? It's a reason. And a lot of times it don't have nothing to do with that person that's doing it. It's some internal thing that you gotta love yourself enough to figure out and say, why this?
He got issues too. He working. He needs to work some things out as well.
Oh, for sure, because he don't have value in women at all. He does not see women as valuable outside of what they can contribute to him. It's just how this woman looked to me. And my thing was, he's trying to speak for all men, but a lot of men want the type of women that he was talking about when they're in the public eye. They feel the pressure to have a certain type of man. Celebrities, politicians, pastors, they feel the need to have certain women that look, you know, speak, talk, behave a certain type of way. But there are men that value family. They value kids. They value relationship. There are a lot of Black men that will take on kids that are not their own. They do it all the time. So for him, that I see it too much to accept that I know it's false. I know that there are men that take on women with 5 kids. I know them personally, and they don't have kids. They've married them. So
my uncle's one.
That's why I'm like, you speaking false. But if you sit there and allow somebody to put that in you, that is your measure of faith for now. So when you going out there, you're gonna feel like you are supposed to lower yourself from what you know you deserve, a standard that don't even belong to you.
I think it's a combination of healing that Black. Go ahead.
Oh no, that was all. I was saying.
Okay, I think it's a level of healing that Black men and women need to do. You know what I'm saying? Because like I tell my son all the time, for someone to sit there and put you down to make themselves feel good, it's a lot going on within that person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's dealing with some issues. I ain't gonna say that because that's not right, but I'm thinking maybe he's struggling coming out that closet he wrestling in. So the only way.
That's why he wanted to know if boy had a big kid.
I saw it too. I saw it too. Because why you need to know information? Why are you getting in this man's personal business?
Correct. That's all. Oh, he gay or what?
You up in there making some noise in your little closet. You know what I'm saying? And to make you feel good, you have to sit up here and shoot down, pop, everybody to make you feel some type of you know, keep your chest up. You know what I'm saying? But you could just kick the door open and come on out. We're free
It's
now.
okay.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
okay,
you're free.
baby.
Be who you need
Everybody
to
will
be.
love you regardless.
Exactly. Be who you need to be so you don't have to talk down to spread that kind of seed. You can use your platform to put a different kind of seed out there if you really want to do it. I look at him like Simon Cowell. Is that his name? Simon?
Yes, Lord.
Yes.
They allowed this nigga to go seasons, just breaking people's heart, belittling them, making them feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? On national television, paying him money to make people feel this big every single day. That's what people want to see, though, and that's sad. Yeah, that's sad that people. He probably got millions of followers. You know what I'm saying? Hate. Yeah, off the hate. Yeah, because that's what they want to see. Because they're just as miserable. You know what I'm saying? Misery does love company. You know, so it's just like, okay, I'm going to tune into that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see something like that. That might make me feel good, you know, to see somebody else being talked to like that, you know? So it's just like, I just think that it needs to be a healing across the board, because it wasn't just Black women in the struggle. It was Black men and enslaved as well. You know what I'm saying? All of us have lessons that we need to learn and unlearn. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's generational. It's generational issues that just need to be relearned, you know, and need to be taught better. You need to think better, you know, think before you open your mouth. That's what my mama taught me. Think before you speak. You know, think before you speak, because if you do that, then you won't have to come back and apologize for what you said.
And therapy. Exactly. Therapy is something I feel like should be a requirement for Black people. It should be a part of our healthy checkup of the year, that you get mental health checkups, that you, when you're in a crisis, say for instance, you have a death, it should be we should teach people to do that you go see somebody. When you get out of a breakup, go see somebody, because that's the time when a lot of trauma happens and you don't get it addressed.
One of the things, the reason why Black folk don't go to see, because we don't see people that look like us. Yep. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why Taraji right. That's the reason why Taraji opened up her organization this year to help give the support, because we as Black people need to see somebody that look like us, because if not, we're going to feel like we're being judged. I had to, when I went to go see a therapist, it was just so happened I was in the Africana Studies department. They had a young lady who was in the Africana Studies department. So when I sat there and looked at Dr. Jet looked at me, and I didn't feel looked like me, and I didn't feel like I was being judged. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I felt like, okay, she understands. Right. Jet came from Compton. I'm from LA. Yeah. She has an understanding. Right. She's not going to automatically say, Nadia, you need to get some medicine because this is what you're doing. She's going to say, girl, look at that. That didn't happen all the way from this process here. Let's try to work this situation out. Right. And a lot of times it's hard to get Black men to sit in front of somebody else. It's hard to get a Black man to talk to you, let alone sit in front of different. Matter of fact, even go to the doctor of a different race. Right. To let them check them out. You know what I'm saying? So we need more people in the field. And I believe that if more people and more of us got into the field, it would be an easier way for us to transition to talk to someone, because we're not going to feel that way. It's hard. When I enroll my husband into a new doctor, I say, well, let me let you look at the pictures, brother. Forget the credentials. Let's look at the pictures. I don't care if he, cuts balls off. Just look at the pictures. Which one do you want? The brother? Oh, okay, that's the one you want, because he's not picking from credentials. He's picking from someone that look like him. That can say, okay, well, the reason why you have high blood pressure, maybe because you've been eating all this all your years and stuff like that. Not just gonna sit up there and say you're obese, you got this much, da 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 da. Yeah, that's not what he want to hear. That's true. You know what I'm saying? So it needs to be more in the field for us to be able to relax. Or more friends. I would say more loving friends. We need more loving friends, because you don't really need to pay nobody if you can have somebody to talk to. That's loyal.
That's a great thought, because a lot of even my friends, like a lot of us, we will say we would like to go see a therapist, and the first thing we're gonna say is, do anybody have a Black therapist? More specifically, because I have more Black female women, do you have a Black female woman therapist? Is she good? Can I get her contact information? Because sis can identify with me. sis has gone through the same things I have experienced, so she can understand when putting a perspective of my life. Okay, you dealing with da 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 da. We got this in the background, da 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 da. Let's put it together. This is what the problem is. This is what it look like. How can we move forward? You know. Right. So I agree.
Yeah.
For sure.
Crazy.
Absolutely. And honestly, just to kind of put that out there, make sure you check you before you start giving advice.
That part.
Because you can get some advice from somebody and it may not be the right advice for you at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely.
Just, yeah. Or you may not be in a good energy or headspace to give advice. You know, just make sure you good to give advice because not all advice is good.
Absolutely. Are you telling me that?
Oh, no. I'm just saying.
Playing. I'm just playing because I know that it's not too many people that can talk to me. It's really not. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I'm not saying closed in I am, but in a sense I am. Because you really have to watch the water that people trying to water you with. You really do. You know, you have to watch that energy. Because everybody that's talking to you don't mean you no good.
Exactly.
They don't mean you no good at all. And I know my grammar's mixed up, but they don't mean you no good. You know,
I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, see, and it's just like, nah, I can't even. I remember growing up with girls 15 years in church. You can't talk to me. No, you can't talk to me because of how you starting off already. Like my spidey senses are up. You know what I'm saying? When I get into a situation or when I need something, it's like, okay, my spidey senses are tingling like, and if your first initial thing is something negative, then it's just like, okay, I don't know how much of this I'm gonna actually be able to receive. Because I feel like whenever it's good advice for me, they're gonna always take me to the Lord. That's what good advice for me is. They're gonna always point me to the Lord. They're gonna say, well, what did that scripture say? Or, you know what I'm saying, look to the hills, or, you know, be angry, sin not. They're gonna try to redirect me. They're not gonna say go bust windows out this nigga car. Because then I'm gonna be doing 5 to 10. I done lost my job, you know, stuff like that. So it's just like I try to, you know, look at it like, okay, if I'm going to receive some information from somebody, I need to make sure, you know, because everybody ain't looking out for you.
No, you be out here and you see them all the time. Like you see groups and you be like, so all y'all thinking the same thing,
right? Like
all y'all said
it's like 15 of y'all.
His car and put sugar in the tank. Y'all ain't got one mother that's in that bit that has some sense. Oh, we got a problem. And when I say we, y'all got a problem.
Right.
Y'all got a problem.
A whole big problem, because that means there's no sound advice in that group.
There's no accountability.
There's no leaders in that group. Everybody's followers. There's no leaders.
Yeah.
Another thing that I thought about when I was looking at that clip was, you know, sometimes we idolize people, you know what I mean? And when you idolize them, they can't tell you any wrong. It's like a very dangerous position to be in. God has really been dealing with me on that and showing me how I've idolized certain people in my life, and it blocks my judgment. Because I'm thinking they can't give me any information that's not right. You know, they care so much about me, and it had a lot to do with how I was looking at things. You know what I'm saying? How I was looking at them, you know, so I came to them just like she came to him. I came to them, you know, when I needed advice or when I wanted to vent or whatever. And it's because of how I looked at them, you know, and when I started looking at things in a different way, it made me realize, like, you have to go to people that's good in what they're good in. You know, you can't go to the friend that have bad relationships for the relationship advice. Go outside of them, look for somebody that actually have a good relationship, you know, but I would go to the same people just because it's like, oh, that's my friend. Or, you know, this person is easy for me to talk to, or whatever the situation was. It's just like, no, you can't do that. You got to look to the people that's like mastering that thing.
Yeah.
My pastor would say, be a fruit inspector.
Ooh,
that's what he would say. Be a fruit inspector. The fruit that this person is putting out there, that's what you watch for. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's going to determine how close I'm gonna get to you by what you've already started to produce.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That determines on if I'm gonna listen to you too, because of what you produce. So I'm a fruit inspector. I'm inspecting fruit all day. Oh, okay, that's a little rotten on that side. I seen a little, you know, I seen a little poison in the roots. So if it's poison in the roots, then the fruit is bearing a little poison too. That means you and your mama too. You know, your mama and you got a little issue. You know what I'm saying?
But no, that's real. That's real, because that's how people get, especially like with people like in like church. That's how people get, like, oh, he the pastor, he the head deacon, she the head so and so, and well, what she say goes. No, you not gonna talk to me like that. You can tell me if you need to correct me, but God is always gonna say you out of love.
Yeah.
Right.
And love, and let me just, because people get confused, love sometimes is hard. So it's not to say that the message is going to be something you always want to hear, but it's to say that they're going to know how to give it to you or provide it for you, because how they were sent, it was sent to not harm you. It wasn't sent to hurt you. It was sent to correct you.
Absolutely.
People got to learn the difference between the two. Like I tell a lot of my students now, like, who told you that? And when they told you that, what was they going through? And you thought that they was going through that, and that was a good idea to ask them that question then?
Right.
Nope. Because their mind, they were hurt. They were upset. So whatever they came out their mouth was a dagger. And if you're not able to call that dagger what it is, you're gonna receive it.
Yes.
Like it was something meant for you, and it wasn't even at you. It was the person they was pissed off with, but because you came in the time, you got what was meant for that other person. So you just got to be careful. You definitely got to be careful with that.
I agree. You know,
right. I agree with you, Miss Tiffany. Good evening, y'all.
Hey, Tameka.
I'm sorry, the reception for me is really low. Hey, Candace. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
But I was saying, like, you can't decipher what message is for you if you do not have a connection with God through Jesus. If you're not praying, if you're not reading the Bible, if you're not just seeking him for your own self, you'll take anybody's opinion and you'll just run with it because, hey, they hear you, they understand what you're going through, and you feel like that word is the word for you. But for me, like personally, I have an inner circle, and that includes my mom, my mother-in-law, my husband, my sisters. These are people that I look up to, and I know they're not going to steer me wrong.
Right.
So if you don't even have that, and you go outside of whatever circle you should have created, you might be lost. Just taking word from anybody.
That's true. But some people don't have that. I feel like sometimes that's where the trouble comes in. You know, if you have people in your life that you can't trust, you know what I'm saying? Not all parents are created equal. And some people don't have that mother, you know, that they can depend on, or that father that's going to give them good advice. They may not even be in their life. You know what I'm saying? And that's a reality for a lot of people. So it's then like, what do you do at that point if you don't have those?
And that's true, Miss. And that's true, Candace. You have to. You don't. Some people grow older, and you're right. They don't have those anchors to hold them down in life. However, if you find yourself and who you are in Jesus Christ, you'll be able to decipher these figures within other people. Whether you just meet somebody and you say, hey, that could be my sister in Christ. You have to know what attributes that person is going to bring to your life. If they're going to pull you up or bring you down. And if they're bringing you down, are they doing that with love? And you have to decipher what love is to you. And if that person respects you, they're gonna reciprocate it and give it to you in the way that you will understand.
And that's your standard, though, because that's the standard that you set. So you also you definitely have to set that standard so people can't come and BS you and move you out the way, because no, you can't talk to me like that. Let's try again.
Right.
Hey T,
are you going to catch everyone up, Candace?
You on mute.
Me. Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, what subject are we on? Y'all see I'm in the car trying to join.
Okay, yeah, we talked about Twerkgate. So I don't you and Tameka want to share your thoughts on that, but we went in on it. We said a whole we probably spent the majority of the time on Twerkgate.
What you say? What you say?
Now I am very. At first, I was up in the air. Then, when all of the other things started to come about, the video of him surfaced with the guys that were on the table doing the exact same thing. You know, at first, you know, I'm an old church lady. So originally, I have to be honest, I was kind of like, I'm with him. Like, yo, if I'm in a fine restaurant, I'm doing whatever. You know, I just dropped like $200 on myself in a restaurant. Well, I did not on myself, but by myself in a restaurant. I do not want to look over and see people twerking. With that being said, if I am in an establishment and you're playing Meg the Stallion, which I love Meg the Stallion, honey. Listen, I have Meg knees. I like to squat and get it in. But if I am at an event and they're playing music, trap music, whatever type of music, where I'm turning up, first of all, I'm probably not ordering food. I'm probably not eating. And what my main objective is in a place like that is to have fun, celebrate, you know, get it in. That's what I'm doing. If you're hosting sipping wine sip, brunching sips, whatever you want to what have you, then that's what you probably should expect. The way he talked to those women was my issue. Now you cannot say you're doing something for the culture and then you know, rebuke everything the culture is about. What is the culture? Which culture are you representing? I mean, there are many people out here that are articulate, that twerk, that, you know, that's a part of our culture. We dance. Before we could speak, we danced. We danced to express ourselves, to do many things. So for you to say you're doing it for the culture and then down the very people that represent your culture, that's out of the question for me.
I can agree. It was the culture part for me. It was like, say what your issue is, because don't make it about the culture, because the black people gonna be like, well, are you sure it's for the culture? Because the culture includes dance. The culture includes, now if it was about your furniture, then make it about your furniture. But it wasn't about it wasn't about the culture. It was about the fact that they were twerking. Just say you hate twerking. Just say that.
And I feel it was more so about women doing it, because you had men in your establishment being loud, being boisterous, and it's so okay for men to do things like that. But when it comes to women expressing themselves freely, we are so harshly judged, and we are so it's so, people are so quick to label women, especially black women. We can't do anything that's a little bit against the grain or that goes against what you deem as appropriate, because then we're ghetto. We don't represent you know, the culture or our class, or we're demeaning to black people. Just all sorts of very ignorant things that people use to box women in, and I have such a huge problem with that.
Yep. Absolutely.
I can agree with that.
What do you feel about the relationship advice video?
Tameka was the other person that came in. Tameka, you go first on that one, because I'm driving, honey.
She had to leave though. She went already though.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So we on you, friend.
Okay. So I get it. I get it. I think I get what he was trying to say, but how dare you have the audacity to sit your extra grown behind up and tell this woman she cannot have something based on your standard.
Yep.
You are saying that it is okay for this woman to walk around with 6 figures and accept what she deemed is less. Yeah. I can't have that because you deem me as average. Mm-hmm. So I should not have a standard. Men are allowed to have standards that go way beyond anything that they should ever expect, and it be okay because they make this amount of money or they do this, they do that. So that's okay. But it's not okay for me as a woman to say, you know what? I am doing this. I've worked hard. I have my own business. I'm making moves. Whatever the case may be. So I do not want to have someone in my corner or approaching me or that I'm dealing with that is not on my same level financially. That is the issue with a lot of marriages and a lot of couples. They do not talk finance. Financial gain is something that is for real, for real. I shouldn't have to put up with somebody that's making less than 6 figures if I'm doing that. And vice versa. I feel like men should feel that way too. Listen, if we're not financially compatible, we're not going to have a good relationship. I should not be a strain to my mate. And it should be okay for me to desire somebody who have their stuff together financially. You can't tell me that I'm just average. So I don't deserve to have somebody that's making 6 figures. That was the whole part that really irked me. Now, what if he would have addressed the fact that she came off to me, and I don't know, I'm just looking at a video. I don't know her. She started looking at her phone, and sometimes people do things like that because they're uncomfortable in hearing something or, as a defense mechanism. But she started looking at her phone like she wasn't really paying attention, like she didn't really care. Like it came off as an air of arrogance. That should have been the reason why you told her she's not going to attract the person she's trying to attract. Nothing physical. Nothing about her looks or about her having a 10-year-old child. Like just things that had no bearing he was going in on. And I'm just like, bruh, how dare you? I am a 2X and I attract men working a 9 to 5, and I only attract men that want to date me that have 6 figures only. And then when y'all see this beat up 2004 Hyundai, I'm not on that level. But that's all I attract. It's how you carry yourself. It's what you're putting in the atmosphere. It is what you're bringing forth from yourself. But people don't have, and she really did come across as somebody that didn't have like a male figure, I guess, in her life to let her know, daughter, you are worth this, regardless of what anybody else is saying. This is what you are worth. Value you, and you'll attract people who have value.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. Like that's really the place that I came from because I lost my dad at a young age, and so hearing her speak like that made me go back and be like, ooh, I'm so grateful to come out of that, time in my life where I was looking everywhere for approval and for somebody to tell me what was already in me, that I needed to take time to find out what was in me. But I was going to different people, asking them, you all could never probably see yourself doing that, but I could see myself, not going to someone like him or dating someone, but, certain people, like I was just explaining, outside of, because I didn't really feel like I had the family that I could go to for certain things. So I would just feel like, okay, let me go to this first lady. Let me go to this lady over here, or let me go to this guy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and asking them, what do you see in me? What's good about me? Because your father is the one who speaks that into a woman and tell her value.
Absolutely.
And if you don't have that, you looking around like, what am I?
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I did not have a father. And I oftentimes, and you don't notice it, it takes maturity to notice it.
Yeah.
because you don't notice it exactly when you're doing it. It's the aftermath that you can look back and see, okay, yeah, I was kind of looking, and like you said, first ladies, like I would go to people around me and I would just thrive on the compliments they gave. Oh, you are so articulate, or you are strong, or you are this or that. And I needed that in order to find value in myself. And it's when you allow that outside opinion, good or bad, when you allow outside opinions to dictate your value, that is toxic.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, honey.
No, go ahead, boo.
No, I was just going to say that's operating in a toxic mindset, and we make it okay for us to do that.
Yeah.
We make it okay for ourselves to do that.
Yes.
It's the norm.
Yes.
When it shouldn't be.
I agree.
I had a friend who, we're not friends anymore, but one day made me cry so bad. Sat and told me I was a nasty person. I had a nasty attitude. I was great with the youth, but I will never be great with adults because I had a nasty attitude and I don't see past my youth. And I told him I fight for my youth real hard because adults are trash sometimes. But really like went in on me and like made me cry, and then still could not understand why you made me cry and why you hurt my feelings, because here I am thinking you are a friend of me. And it wasn't that you told me I was a nasty person. You made it seem as if I never did any good for you. As if I never did anything for you. Now, at one point, that would have broke my heart and made me go, I am a nasty person. I am a this, I am a that. But I knew in that space, I was not. And at the time you told me I was those things, I knew I had worked really hard not to be those things. You know what I'm saying? So like you told me all that. So my heart is broken still, because as a friend, you felt the need to tell me all of these things. You wanted to sandwich it, but you couldn't because you had already told me every negative thing that you could probably think of off the top of your head. You this, you that, da 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 da. But you said it in the name of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do stuff like that. So suppose if I was my younger me and I had that conversation with you, and because one, you're a male and I'm a single woman, I'm already trying to figure out why I'm a single woman. And I feel like I'm good enough to be in a relationship. But then two, because you're my friend, now I'm taking everything you saying as golden.
Yes.
Because maybe I am nasty, maybe I am, and I'm not those things. So like to your point, T, like you have to be able to see, you have to be able to decipher what's good and what's not. Because everybody to you or over you, they shouldn't have a say so. Everybody can't have.
Absolutely.
You have to your point, you have to be able to take that maturity to say, yeah, no, you just come. Now it may hurt your feelings right then, but you also will know, like, nah, you was coming out of left field with that one.
Right.
That one, how you had to say it, and it be people in the church who do that too. So
absolutely.
You know,
I'm trying to save it. I'm trying to save
what
what
I'm sorry, but yeah.
To the church conversation we supposed to have next month. But I'm about to go in seriously because y'all barking up that tree and I'm just trying to hold back. I'm just serious. 2 hours into this conversation, y'all. And y'all know people don't like to watch long videos, but I'm just
So conversation.
Yeah, it's a good conversation too.
It has been a good conversation. Yep. Yep. So
that was what's up.
Anybody else have any thoughts on it? Our hearts and minds are clear.
Bring the closer, bring the benediction.
I'm about to say, I
don't know what else to say. Well, ladies, thank y'all for coming. This has been the first of many.
Yay!
Absolutely.
This was a great conversation.
Y'all bring y'all topics. Bring y'all.
Yes, please. And listen, next time I swear I'm gonna be present for the entire conversation, honey.
It's okay.
I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Restaurant.
Having dinner at Forks.